Hey you guys, Angel starts here. First of all, I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Welcome to 2019. I am here with Warren Robinson, and Warren, you guys, is a entertainment industry executive. We're going to get into what exactly that means, but I just wanted to introduce you briefly and say happy new year to you all. Warren, thank you so much for taking some time and sitting down with me today, because I know you are super busy, and this is huge for me to sit down and just have a minute, you know? So thank you.
Thank you for having me. I always have time for Angel. You are wonderful, extremely talented, so I'm just honored to sit across from you.
Well, thank you. Now, I know you have so much going on, and we're excited that you're going to talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you have going on and some opportunities. So introduce yourself to so many people that probably watch so many shows that you've had a hand in. They have probably came to auditions that you've had a part in. Maybe they've even worked with you just like I have. And it's kind of different to catch you on this side of the table because you're easy to work for and with, but more busy and on the go. You're kind of like at my leisure, like I got you where I want you right now.
Well, yeah,
I got some questions I want to get down to.
No, I love it. I love being on this side because
I see.
For the first time, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about the shots. That's all you.
Yeah.
So it's good to just sit here and just do the talking for once and not have to control the show. But no, I have done a lot in the industry, like you said, mostly behind the scenes, which has been my love, to kind of have that anonymity, but still be able to kind of pull the strings a little bit. But it is interesting now because things are transitioning. So I've actually been stepping in front of the camera and trying to become a personality in my own right. So that's interesting. But
so tell people what exactly an entertainment industry executive is, because when I seen that come across, I thought that's like three different things. What is that exactly? What is that when somebody sees that?
So right now I am I'm an exec for first of all I have my own media company, WDR Star Group LLC. So I am the president of that, and together with various much larger media companies, many of which you've heard, I've done several deals in terms of producing content, producing for shows, getting things on the air, hiring, doing castings, that kind of thing. I'm also a development executive with a company called 13 Brains, which is a Scott Sternberg Productions company. And if you know anything about Scott Sternberg Productions, it's a major company. We have several shows on air right now, and if you're a fan of the ID channel, On the Case with Paula Zion is one of our shows, and several others that are on air right now as we speak is the company that I work for. So my job there is to help develop and find new shows, new talent, help create sizzle reels, and then go out and kind of sell those and pitch those to networks.
Yeah, and we're going to pause right there. Did y'all hear that? He develops, finds talent. So stay right there, honey. If you've been waiting on your next opportunity, stay right there. Now, the thing about when I first met you, I had never heard of you. And this goes, to a lot of people that are so busy and so successful in their craft, but everybody don't have to know you. As long as you can pay your mortgage and drive your Benz, you're good, right? So I thought, who is this person? And since then, working with you on What America Really Thinks and Dish After Dark, and even going on auditions where I didn't have anything to do with you, they knew you and wouldn't even talk to me. And they were like, oh, you work with Warren? And I'm like, yes. And these people are from like LA, they don't know me. And so thank you for that. I've been using your name all the time. Right here, baby, I know Warren, and put me in my dressing room together. I mean, name dropping like a
I'm glad I can help.
You have been helping me.
I will say this, I think people get so caught up in the personalities. We get so caught up in who's in front of the camera and the celebrities and I want to be this and that we don't recognize or realize that oftentimes the person you see on camera is actually not the person who calls the shots. They don't get to hire anybody, they don't get to pick anybody, they don't get to determine how the show is ran, they don't get to determine who's on the show. It's the behind the scenes, the producers, the showrunners, the casting directs, the people that we don't see so we don't know. When you watch a movie, you see all those names at the end. Those are the people who are actually kind of making a lot of the decisions. So it's not surprising a lot of times that execs like myself aren't necessarily recognized, which is fine because we don't get into it for the recognition, but you never know who's actually calling the shots behind the scenes. So I would say that for a lot of people that really want to get into the industry, I say take some time to find out who is really calling the shots. So for instance, one of the things that I have done is I am pretty much on a first name basis with the heads or vice presidents of every single major network you can name.
And this is who I roll with, okay? This is who I bump shoulders with.
You have to be, because part of what I do again in developing shows is then I take them and I pitch them and try to sell them. So people buy from people they know. People.
I was gonna say you have to build those relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who you know is far more important than anything. And I tell everybody in this business, everyone thinks it's talent. Talent is great, but talent is not the most important
Get
factor.
to know
There
somebody.
are some very extremely talented people out there who have never had a chance to get their big break. I bet right now you can think an extremely talented actor, actress, singer.
There was one name, I think it was it Angel Starks?
Angel Starks.
For one, who's out here on the grind right now.
Yeah, very talented folks who
Yeah.
are not as popular as other people who are maybe less talented, because talent it's not the biggest factor. By far, the biggest factor is who you know.
Yeah.
And so knowing the right person and getting that person to like you and getting them to take your calls is key. So I learned very early, who do I need to know? Who are the execs? Who are the vice presidents? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to network? I didn't care about the celebrities.
Right.
And I've been in the
They already got their bag. They're
hundreds
good.
of them. Hundreds of them. And I've never paid them any attention other than, hi, good to see you. But they were never my focus because they weren't going to get me in the door. They weren't going to buy the show. They don't make the decisions on shows that are bought. So when I'm selling a show, it doesn't matter if I know X, Y, and Z celebrity. Now, if I have them attached, meaning, they're going to play a part or they're going to be in the show, it may help in the selling process, but they're not making that decision. It's the network execs, it's the vice presidents, and not only the higher ups, because sometimes we get so caught up in titles that we forget that they have teams. And so sometimes it's the listen, when there are 8 people on a team and the vice president isn't sure, you need that ally.
Right.
And so having that administrative assistant who likes you and will go to them and be like, well, I think you should give Warren a shot. That's invaluable. Yeah. So really get to know those kind of people if you really want to.
That's a good piece, Warren. That's a good information that people probably don't even use. So you just gave away, I don't know how much money you work for life. So yeah, that's good. Now, Warren, we don't really know each other personally. We've worked on the set, and so we've learned a little bit, but not really. And so tell me a little bit about how you got to where you are now, because you are from Indy. Are you from Indianapolis? Born and raised, but then moved out to LA.
Not first.
So give us a little backstory, because let me tell you one thing. I initially, when I thought, who is this guy? I thought she was like a model or a backup singer or something back in the day. Very sharp guy. I hear that, but you had a briefcase in high school and wore suits and this is amazing guy. And, I'm like, what? So how did you go from that to this? So give me a little bit of backstory. You can start back as far as you want to on how you became, what you're doing now.
Well, I did not have a briefcase.
You didn't have a briefcase?
I did not.
That's a rumor. Somebody said you had a briefcase.
I went to Mid-Davis. I did not have a briefcase. Somebody from Mid-Davis is out there, But I do think I was always different. I always dressed differently. Honestly, it started. My love for entertainment and creating started early.
Okay.
And I used to write plays when I was a teenager, and we staged them. I did a couple of them at church. They did really well. I was happy with that. Prior to writing plays, I was just a liar. I was a liar. I lied when I was in like 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. Yeah. I was just a liar. I lied about everything.
You would just make up stories.
Just make up stories, just lying to everybody who would listen. And so I was always creative. It just was always there.
But you was using it the wrong way at first.
Well, I needed to test my stories out. So I would lie, and I could sell you a lie. People believed it, so I figured, I'm good at that. Somewhere along the line, though, around college time, I kind of started to get serious, and so I put entertainment off. I said, you know what, that's not a serious dream. It's not going to happen. Let me move on to something else. So did that, went to law school.
Okay.
And when I went to law school, Howard, law, by the way, Bison's. And so I went to law school, did that, and entertainment just kept popping back up. Ooh, and so I ended up starting negotiating contracts, doing some facilitating, managing a couple of acts, and from there it just went full steam ahead.
And you started that from Indy?
I started that from Washington, D.C.
Okay, you were in Washington, D.C.
Okay. And I started doing that from Washington, D.C., and then that led me out to L.A., and then out to Atlanta, and then back But the last few years, my home base has been in Indy. Now, I fly out all the time. I live in the airport.
Okay.
Because I'm back and forth all the time.
On the A or the B side?
I fly out all the time, and so, but I'm based here in Indy.
Okay.
And so you can do it because of modern technology. The way technology has made things now where you can email and you can call and you can send video in, you can Dropbox it, you can Google Drive it.
Yeah.
You can do it right here from the base.
For sure.
So I made my connections in LA, and I do it right from Indy. But like I said, I do fly out all the time. I'm in Miami, I'm in New York, I'm in LA. I'm wherever I need to be to find who I need to be. And I'm not there long. I'll fly out, I'll go to Miami for 3 days, come back, then go again if I need to. Just whatever it takes to develop those relationships. And, you know.
Because that's the question is, a lot of people that, you know, are here in Indy, have so much talent, just like you said. They don't have the connections. They go and find out what everybody in LA and New York and, you know, everywhere else is buying, what equipment they're using. They buy it. They have everything that they need, but just to not have those connections to take it anywhere. So you've got this great production or this great, you know, album that's just sitting right here, circling around the circle downtown somewhere, you know.
Well,
and so what advice do you have for people that want to, you know, venture out? They want to be more than known just here in Indy.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna have a little bone of contention with you. I see a lot of things here in Indy, but a lot of it is not that great. It's okay.
Well, I'm talking about one person actually. You're right. One person that I met, not even me.
No, a lot of it is okay. It's good, but it's not great. And the bar is so high because you're competing with literally everybody else across the country from every other city. So good is not good enough. It has to be great. And so I see a lot of potential artists and who are not putting in the time to make it great. And part of putting in the time is doing the research. They want to, you know, you want to act, you want to sing, you want to create a show, but you haven't done the work. And so when you come to me, because people will come to me and they say, "Oh, I got this great idea for a show," and I start asking you questions. Davis people are great.
Man, you know me from third period, man.
Well, but when I ask questions, the idea is not fleshed out. You haven't done your research. You don't know your demographics. You don't know your targets. You don't know who you're going to. There's so many things that are not there. And I'm like, okay, why would you bring this to me?
I don't have time.
Well, the thing is, with being exact, period, you usually get one good shot. And you get in that door, and if you're not together, if you don't have it all written out, and you don't know your numbers, and you don't know what you're looking for, and you don't know why you came to me, because when I go to a network exec, I have to know everything about that network. I have to know everything about that exec. I have to know everything about what they've done in the past. I have to know everything about what they're doing in the future, so that they don't laugh me out the door.
I seen you do that. I seen you do that in Miami.
We were in Miami, yes.
And a room full of people was standing around you, and I had not seen you do, you know, speak to execs like that. And so we were just walking by, and I seen you pitching or talking or doing something, and it was locked in. And so, and I remember you saying to us, "Well, this show's coming out. Well, this person's leaving." I'm like, "How you know all these people's business?" Doing your research.
You have to.
I've seen you do it.
You have to do the research, because when you walk in that door, they're gonna ask questions, and you need to know why you're walking in that door. I see people all the time. They have shows, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to sell this show." So, well, where do you want to sell it to? Well, I want to go to this network. Okay. Do they make that kind of program? Is that what they do?
Oh, I can just feel the sweat bugs when you don't know the answer.
Well, because one of the things people say is, "Well, no, but my show is so great, they'll do it." That never happens. Let me dispel anybody of that myth. No network is going to change what they do to benefit you. Never in the history of television or movies or anything. That doesn't happen. So you have to find where your niche is and figure out who would want this concept. And is it even a concept? Because there's a very big difference between an ideal, which everybody has ideals, and ideals are a dime a dozen. I know your ideal is not that unique. Everybody thinks it is. It's not. Somebody's done it. It's been done. Is it fleshed out enough to actually be a sellable show? So I see a lot of that here in Indy, of people not doing the research part, the business side of things, and getting your contracts together, getting your copyrights, your trademarks together. So you come to me with an idea. Well, do you own it? Well, I created it with somebody. Do I have a partnership agreement? Well, I can't touch that. So you got to get the business
so much
together.
To it. They don't
you got to get the research together and get those parts.
But there's nobody to teach us here. I mean, you could go. I mean, I feel like you can do research, but like a sit-down conversation I have just started to open doors where, if in my industry and what I want to do, where I have phone numbers, I'm starting to get a little number where I can call a few folks that have reached high success of where I want to go, and so that's great. But for years and years and years, I would go online and read so much stuff on there. You get so overwhelmed, you don't know what's right, and there's just not one person that you can reach out to say. I feel like somebody needs to hold something or have some type of agency office or something here in Indy to say, this is what you need to do. So when people say, I have this amazing idea, you come kind of like when you go and apply for food stamps and they go, do you have this, do you have that? No, turn this in by the 15th if you want to get. I'm just saying, they just need somebody to say, this is what you need to be doing. Now if they don't do it, that's fine, but for a long time I was barking up the wrong tree, didn't even know it.
Well, but you know, there is information out there, and there are people out there. Most everybody is somewhat attainable. Almost nobody is completely unattainable. There's a way to get a hold of these people, and people are able to answer questions. Listen, if you email me and ask me a question, I'm gonna answer you back. Just like most of the other execs I know, if they get that email and you say, hey, I have questions, people will answer them. So I think part of it is just don't be afraid to reach out and say, hey, I need advice. I have a question.
I do. They
Here's
don't
what I
talk
know.
back though,
They don't get
because they don't know me. I don't know anybody.
And sometimes they're busy.
But have you ever thought about having a seminar or a master class?
It
Is that something that
crossed
can be
my
done?
mind. It has crossed my mind, and I've definitely thought about, putting some stuff together to help.
People need a real
guide people
person,
through it.
especially somebody that is, from Indy, that will say, hey, and then somebody that's already reached levels of success. I hate for people to try to tell me something and you right where I am, girl. We both right here scrambling on this ride, So anyway, that's a thought. If you guys
You
actually,
gave me something.
yes, if you guys would like to attend a master class or some type of seminar with Warren, just give you information on how you can get whatever you're working on. Maybe he'll come up with however, but just some industry-based information. You want to go right now to Angel Starks Angel 78. Wait a minute, cut. You want to go right now to Angel Stark 78. Comment below, say yes, I'm in, and so that we can kind of just see what the interest is on that, because it's just me. I'm like, I want to know, but maybe people do, maybe they don't. I think people do and they need it.
And there's information out there. And speaking of which, my company, 13 Brains, we're actually right now looking for people. Yes. Talented people with ideals who are creative, and we're doing unscripted right now, so we don't need your scripts for your TV shows yet. But right now, if you have an unscripted show ideal, we're looking for that. Okay. And we're looking to work with you to purchase that, and we'll not purchase it from you. We're actually going to make you a partner in it. We're going to put the money behind it. Okay. We're going to create your sizzle reel, your trailers. We're going to then take it to networks, get it on the air for you. Okay. If it's a great concept. So if you have a solid concept that's reality, unscripted, that is fleshed out, and you think, hey,
what's fleshed out?
So when I say fleshed out, that means everything needs to be together. Okay. So don't just give me a general idea of, hey, I want to do a show about, I don't know, a butcher shop. Okay. What shop? Who are your characters? Who are my supporting characters? What's your storylines going to be? Flesh it out for me. And if you have a solid concept there, it's definitely something we will look at and could potentially get on the air for you.
Wow, that's a treat. Welcome to 2019. So you're coming like bearing gifts, basically, because that's a gift to somebody's ears and eyes that are out here and they have this idea and they're like, I don't know what to do with it. So let's talk about it. So is this in the process, or are we ready to go? Like, how would they do that? How would they contact you to do that? Well, right now you can go to the NATPE. NATPE stands for the National Association of Television Programming Executives, and that is one of the largest television conferences in the entire country. We'll be down in Miami. We'll be there. We'll be on stage. We have a big presentation coming, and so we will be reviewing those pitches for NATPE coming up later this month, actually. You do have to get yourself down to Miami, so if you're chosen. But first step, you got to submit. We'll read over it. If we like the concept, you submit it online, then we'll let you know. You come down to Miami, you'll live pitch us in person. I'll be one of the judges. And if we like it, we will actually help you create a sizzle reel and get you something sold. And the thing is, once you have credits, once you have something sold, doors open up. And so then you have so much more opportunity to walk into networks or to meet people or for people to actually return your emails, because it can be hard to get your emails returned until you get something sold. So we are giving people that opportunity to get their unscripted reality shows
on the air. So right now, go to the NAPI website, NATPE. Go to nappy.com, or you can go to 13brains.tv. 13brains.tv. You will see my website. It'll come up right when you go there. Fill out that application. Get on there, and the deadline's coming up, so you probably want to get on that soon.
Okay. And we're going to make sure that we get that on the screen right here and at the very end of the show, so that you guys will have it right there visible, so you won't make any mistakes on that.
Exactly.
So that's fun. I might want to sit down and write me up a little something now.
Yeah.
Opportunities not, you got to come, running.
I would love for somebody somebody from Indy to be one of the selected few. I would love that. So definitely go there, and you don't have to have experience in this industry. As long as you have a great concept that I can see, and if it's not 100% fleshed out, this is your lucky day.
Okay.
Because we will actually help you flesh it out. Again, as development execs, that's what we do. Me and my team, the rest of the 13 Brains team, that's what we do anyway. So we're really willing to kind of come in and take a good concept, but we gotta have something. You can't just tell me we're gonna do a butcher shop.
Like, I need, we good. Yeah.
I need some specifics, but if you give me good specifics and it looks like something we can develop out, our team will develop it out and we will help you so that we can get this show sold for you. So
that's amazing.
I'm really looking forward to that.
That is amazing. So you guys, we're just going to take a really quick break and give you a minute to just kind of develop and just digest everything that we just put out. A lot of great information. Again, I am so honored to have this exclusive interview with you. I don't think I've ever seen you sit down and have an interview with anybody, especially not from Indy. So I feel like the Oprah of Indianapolis, honey, sitting down right now with Warren D. Robinson.
Making me blush.
You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. You guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's a really, really interesting night just to have an interview with Warren D. Robinson, and he is an entertainment industry executive. He's explained what that is. We're going to get more into his career and what opportunities he's actually offering for you. If you have a screenwriter or you're a play, you write plays or any type of, I don't even know how to even say it because I don't know, but he's here and he's offering opportunity, and we're going to continue to finish this interview up and just embrace the information. Knowledge is key, and we have a bulk of knowledge today for anybody that is out here in the industry and just want answers and want to be inspired. So Warren, again, you are the very first interview of 2019 for the Angel Star Show, and so it's a good deal because I'm like, listen, I am not just interviewing your cousin that's been making shows down in the basement. I am working with a professional, and so this is great. So thanks for helping me kick off my 2019. Amazing.
Again, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
You do good on this side of the table, though.
I like it.
Like,
I
you're super comfortable.
It's like what I do now. Maybe I'll let you do the. Maybe we can switch places.
We can.
We can. The business side, and I'll do the hosting side.
So tell me what I know. You said you've been behind the scenes and making it all happen, and now you're moving more where people are recognizing your face and you're going to be seeing more. What made you shift from that to that? Did it just happen or what?
Necessity.
Okay. All right.
Part of being a great producer is you have to be able to roll with the punches. So you have to be able to just go with any situation. When you're given lemons, you got to make lemonade.
Okay.
It's got to be the best tasting lemonade ever, right? And so I was kind of working on some stuff. I was working on a show that you worked on with us, What America Really Thinks.
Yes.
And I was casting, and I just could not find the right balance. And so I knew I needed a certain balance, a certain kind of weight that has to be in there. It's a panel show, if you don't know.
Yes.
A panel discussion show.
And they can go where and see clips of that?
You can go to whatamericareallythinks.com on our blog site. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, all of it. And
Google me.
Kind of see,
Google him. Google the show.
On Twitter and kind of see what we're doing there. It's a panel show, but it has to have a right balance.
Yeah, I was wondering. I kind of thought that. I said, I bet you anything. Because when we first did the auditions and you were hosting, I thought, well, maybe he's just filling in because he's one of the execs. So, but then when you were part of it, I thought, he could not find nobody to fill those shoes. And he said, I ain't having it. I'd rather do it myself. But I wasn't sure, and I've never asked you in 2 years. I hadn't asked you, so yeah.
That is absolutely right. At the end of the day, we had to have a right chemistry. It had to have the right balance. And it was temporary. I was temporarily just going to fill in. I said, I'll fill in until we find somebody. I could not find the person. So at that point I had a choice between either, okay, kind of doing this or saying, you know what, haphazardly shooting it when it wouldn't be its best. And that's kind of, if I had to give any tips, never do that.
Okay.
It has to be great. As I said earlier, good's not good enough. It has to be great. So I knew we needed that. So I did it, and now our backers, the people that pay us, they won't let me leave.
They're like, no, you started, we want you.
Exactly. I said, well, I'm going to back out. I said, I'm just going to kind of produce. I'm going to let them do it.
Yeah.
And they said, no, you, no show. We want you.
Oh,
we want you in that front line.
There you go.
I was like, oh, okay. So
that's funny. I wondered that. I've been wondering that.
They hired me this marketing person who is now like, oh, you got to go on social media. I've never had a social media account.
Seeing you.
Like, I have never had a social media account. All these years of my life, I've never had a social media account. So now I have to do social media, and I still don't post as much as she tells me to, because I'm just like, look, I forget, I'm living life. But now I'm doing social media, and I'm doing all these other things. Warren D. Robinson too on all my social accounts. By the way, Warren D. Robinson.
Go follow him right now.
Find me.
Yeah.
So it's a new world, and I'm embracing it. And it's not the first time. When I was a teenager, I used to model.
Okay.
I did. I used to model. I was pretty successul there. But
You
then
was.
I
You was
didn't.
so
but
cute.
I love to eat. So modeling kind of stopped for me, but I
it was like, now Warren, now, yeah.
Well, as male models, we don't really. I guess there is maybe a division for husky. I don't know.
I don't know where the plus size men models.
Yeah, I don't think there are any. So we had to be fit. So after a while, I started eating. So that ended for me after about 2.5 years, because I think I like food more. So, but
the food wins.
But no, so I'm used to being in front of the camera, and then also I grew up in church.
Yes.
My father's a pastor.
That's right.
I spent all my life in church, in front of the church,
in front of
talking,
people,
speaking, ministering. So it's not a huge change for me.
Okay.
To talk in front of the camera.
I was gonna.
I've done that as a kid, but if I had my way, no, behind the scenes, making the show, putting it together is what I love.
Yeah. So that's those sacrifices that I tell people about all the time, where I, have had to, film and edit and do my whole thing, just because I have hired people or had people offer to do it and they do not do it correctly or do not do it to the standard, or they just can't, or they don't know. And so then you end up having to step in and do it. So I totally respect that. And sorry, you're locked in now, buddy.
I'm here.
Yes, you are here. So let's take it back a little bit. So what was it like for you when you were a little boy? Your PK's son, you have sisters, pretty big family. I'm not sure how many of you guys it is, but then, somewhere down the line, you built all of this confidence and all of this motivation to be able to knock down every wall that has been built to say, no, you can't do this. You're going to be right here in Indy and you're going to be a co-pastor or whatever. You have, really went far, where a lot of people would say, like, you're living their dream. So many people set out to do these things and they just kind of get stuck because it's so much work and you get told no so many times and it just takes forever to get any recognition. And so take me back. What was it like in your household, just kind of being a child? Where did you get all this confidence and all this power to say, hey, I'm going to do this?
I've always been confident.
Okay.
I will say that since I was a little kid.
I can just picture you.
Just always. Even when I was
Do we have a picture of Warren and a baby? I want to see a picture of you when he was a little boy.
I picture one in my little bow tie. When I was walking around in the 3rd grade, lying my butt off, I was always confident. I never had an issue with confidence, ever. I just have to attribute that to my great parents.
Yeah.
And what they instilled in us. I have 2 sisters. Both of them have also always been very confident, very together.
Okay.
And I'm very proud of us.
So it's just you and 2 sisters?
It's me and 2 sisters.
Okay.
There's 3 of us. We're all college graduates. We all have I have a JD. Both my sisters have master's degrees.
Amazing. Great.
So we are all very confident. And again, it's because of that parents. Now, we grew up in a very strict house.
Okay.
So my father did not play. And discipline was enforced. We got lots of spankings. And it molded us into who we are today. And so I'm very grateful for that. And I think that's where it all kind of came from, because I hear people say, oh, if you spank the kids, it leads them to have no confidence in it. For us, it instilled in us a work ethic and a discipline that we needed. So for me, it was a great thing. I can't speak for anybody else, but
I'm speaking for all kids. It's needed.
It is needed every now and then.
If you watch the news and see some of this stuff these kids are doing, it is needed.
And it's kept us all out of trouble. And so that was where my confidence kind of came from. As far as sticking through it, this industry is hard. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody wants to do it. It is a very hard industry. However, there are still a lot of goals that I want to accomplish. There's a lot of places in this industry I want to go. I'm still not where I want to be. And so every day I work hard and I get up and I figure out a new way to go about getting to where I want to go. And so I don't judge myself based on where I'm at. I always judge myself based on growth.
Okay. Yeah.
And I look at myself every 6 months and say, okay, am I a step closer than I was? If I am, I'm doing it the right way. If I'm not, I'm doing something wrong. And so now we got to switch things up, because I can't go backwards. I can't get stagnated. I just got to go. So, and there's no perfect timing. God works everything out when He wants it to be worked out. He's going to get you there when He wants you to get there. But look at that growth. And too many people do the same thing. They don't grow. And they keep doing the same thing. That's not smart. You have to look at yourself and say, okay, after 6 months, I should be growing. I should not be in the same place. I shouldn't be making the same money. I shouldn't.
Well, let me ask you this. So for me, I can see, I've seen it, and I get glimpses of the end of it, but not all the stuff in the middle. Like, I don't know which way and what, but I've already seen, like, this is what you're going to be doing. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you need to do, or whatever. So I stay on the same path because I don't even have anything else left, right? Unless I go back to school. But I've been doing this for a long time in a lot of different variations. Every fashion show, interviewed everybody, every local news. I'm just saying I've done it, right? So it's like, what would you take all 12, 15 years of being, whatever, and then just when social media start, really, coming up to where everybody's all about it, is where I started to get a little bit of traction with that, because you can reach out all over the world and be right at home in my bed somewhere, right? But for me, I'm not one to say, well, this is not working. What are they doing? I'm gonna go do what they're doing. I don't do that. But I do go and say, okay, look in my industry, what is a real genuine fit for me? And I can do that. I have to keep up with, what is trending in the industry, right? So people are doing stories, or, there's fashion bloggers that have certain bags or whatever, and I have to get on the ball. Yeah. What do you think about people that just kind of go like, oh, well, they're doing this, let me go do it. Or you should do that. If it's not really their calling, just because that person is being successful, but you ain't even a model. You don't even play basketball. I'm just saying, is it okay just to be like all over the place? How do you path out that, okay, in 6 months, this is what I was doing, here's my growth. How do you switch it up without going out of your character?
Well, I think growth is determined by each individual. So when you look at yourself in 6 months and say, okay, I'm growing, I'm not growing, you have to set your own personal goal and say, okay, this is what I consider growth. For some people, that is money. For some people, that's followers. For some people, that's whatever it is for you. At the same time, when you grow and you look and you see that things aren't working, that doesn't mean that you're going to become somebody else or you're going to copy somebody else. That means you're going to look back over how you've been doing what you've been doing, because if this is your love and this is your talent and this is what you want to do, you don't necessarily have to change that, but if you haven't grown in 6 months' time, obviously the way that you're delivering that may not be working. So let's work on your delivery. Let's work on your presentation. Let's find what it is that is somehow keeping you from growing to those goals. So you don't necessarily have to change who you are, and you never want to be a carbon copy.
Right.
If there's one already doing it, what do we need you for?
Right.
You gotta find your niche. Find your niche, find your lane.
So many people send me, and people probably do it to you too, send me stuff and say, oh, well, you should do this. Here's this travel agency thing. You should kill it. Or you should do all makeup videos. I like how I do my makeup, but I don't want to tell you how to do yours. I hate putting mine on, But so I just, it's kind of like hard to be, if you're not seeing the success that you want, not to jump on the bandwagon of this person because they're seeing success. I don't do that because that's not what I want to do. And so that's, if you're being successful in that, probably because that's your calling, that's what you want to do. I don't care enough about, makeup or whatever.
And that's absolutely right. Find your calling, find your niche, try to find something different. But two, when you look at success, be careful, because you never know the back end mechanisms that is driving someone to success. Because again, this industry is about who you know. So you never know who that person is introduced to, who that influencer has connected to, who has actually sent most of their people over to. You don't know how much money is put behind that influencer to advertise their brand so that they can be successful, and maybe you don't have access to that. So be careful at judging yourself against anybody else's success, because you don't know their backstory. And typically, a lot of times, most of the most successful ones that we see, especially on social media and other things, they're funded. They're funded by marketing agencies, by advertising agencies. There are agencies specifically out there. If you give them $250,000, they will make you a social media star if that is your goal.
If that's your goal.
I'm not going to even get on the fact that that should never be your goal, but we're going to leave that alone. You have to be careful. Never judge your success by somebody else, because you don't know how they got there. Work on your niche. And again, find out what success means to you, because just because they have 200,000 followers doesn't necessarily mean that they can that's what you need to do. Find your niche. At the end of the day, you can have 200,000 followers and not be making any money.
You sure can.
If you're getting paid to do what you do, then you're already winning. So find your goals and say, okay, you know what? That's what I'm going to reach for me.
Absolutely.
And not worry about anybody else, because, we get paid to do what we love to do.
We do. And as I noticed, at first I wasn't paying any attention to, followers. I was just like, oh, I like being on social media, talking to people or whatever. But then certain brands that was unreachable to me, that would not reach out, I couldn't reach them, reached out to me. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So that's how, so to me, I'm walking around, you might be like, she's cocky, she's arrogant. No, I'm just so, happy of all the work that I've been putting in for so very long, to be able to get on a path that looks even clear enough for me to stay on, and to just even get emails back, and even get these little PayPal checks and all these things. That is my, my success, because I have my goals of, okay, last month I only did this, this, and this. So that you can come across like that. So it's good that, you're basically saying that I'm confident within, because I already set these goals for myself and I meet them internally. You might not even know it. And then that's where.
You don't need to know. I think traveling in silence is sometimes the greatest thing you can do.
Traveling in silence.
Absolutely,
I love that.
Because everybody isn't on your journey to see you successful. And everybody doesn't need to be on your journey. So I have a lot of people in my life who have no idea the shows that I've worked on, the celebrity contracts I've done, the deals that I've facilitated, because it's really none of your business. And a lot of my family members will probably see this and say, oh, I didn't know he was doing that. And, others of them will see this and, that boy ain't doing that.
No, so, somebody gonna call you and say, I seen you was on there, they said you worked down, can I borrow $75? That's my family right there. I seen you was interviewing that big star man. They down South Arkansas, they ain't gonna say it right. And they'll be asking for some money. So sometimes you gotta keep things on the hush and just move and work. You have people from Arkansas?
They are. Arkadelphia.
Really?
Yes. Arkadelphia.
Well, look at that.
County, Clark County, absolutely.
We're probably family. You never know.
We might be kinfolk. But no, I think that sometimes traveling in silence is a great thing. Everybody doesn't need to know what you're doing, what moves are coming. You'll see it when you see it.
You'll see it when it's
and
happening.
You'll see it when the world sees it. And so a lot of people, I just don't tell you what I'm doing.
You just do it.
Because there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of people who don't want to see you successful. There's a lot of people who will try to bring up stuff from 10 years ago to try to make you look bad. So, you got to be careful about those kind of people. And so sometimes you got to take that journey in silence until you get to the next step.
Well, let's go back to that. Now, how do you handle stuff like that? Because I'm pretty sure, just like with any success or anything that's a change in your life, if you have a new baby, or you get married, or you lose weight, or you're in an interracial relationship, or you just find success in whatever it is that you're doing, you do have people that want to be like, I used to know her when she was this, or whatever. For me, I don't give it any attention, because I'm so happy in my life, for real, genuinely, that I just don't have time for it. But at the beginning of that, it's a shocker. Even I don't care who you are, stuff hurts, right? And you have feelings, you're a human, but I will get in front of it. Okay, that did happen, now what? That did happen, I'm doing this now, what do you want me to do? That's how I kind of took a Nene Leakes stand on that. When they found out about her, allegedly, or whatever, and she came right out and said, yeah, I did, now what? It kind of disappeared. But when you kind of play that
you
little
own
role.
it.
Yeah, when you
Just
own
own
it. But do you have any advice on that, or have you ever had that happen to you?
I would say that the biggest thing is just owning it. What really makes it an issue is when you try to pretend that you're not.
Yeah, that's
Or
what
that
that
you
gets
haven't
revved
done
up.
it, or you're lying, because then people find out, and then it's like, oh, you lied to us. So just own it. I've always tried to live my life in a way where there's not a whole lot anybody can say about me. There might be one or two people out there
Okay.
that got something on me, but
One or two.
everybody else, I've always tried to live a way that my reputation speaks for itself. So there are people who don't necessarily like me, and there's people who haven't liked all the things I said because I can be very blunt. But there's not anything out there that you could say about one that's damaging, that's defamatory, that's really bad, because I've always lived that kind of life. Character has always been very important to me, because since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a senator.
Okay.
So I knew I was going to politics. So I've always tried to live my life in a way.
Senator
where,
Warren!
Yeah, where I could get elected with no
So
problem.
what happened with that?
Well, you know, I'm still young, so
You still can
I'm
do
in the
it.
early 30s, so there is still time to do that. And you know, you never know. I may run for Senate one day, but so I've always tried to have a good reputation, and I think I do. But I would say just own it. And there are some things that I told you I used to be a liar when I was a kid. I told a lot of lies. I can't even tell you how many. So I think you
so
just
funny.
own what it is in your past that you did, and say, hey, yeah, I did it. It is what it is. Here's where I'm at now. But also, you said something important. Don't give it any energy.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
And so you can say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to respond. I don't need to.
It takes so much energy out. I remember going on and on and on, because I didn't have social media for a long time. Up until maybe 5 years ago, never had it. I had one MySpace on there, and a boyfriend was, just doing too much, and I had to shut that one down. And then I just never had it. And then when I wrote my book, my publisher said, you have to have social media. If you want to sell a watch or cookies or cupcakes or anything, you have to have it nowadays. So I started in there, and then it wasn't really called trolls at the time, but you started to hear trolls. So, this lady was just coming after me. I'm going on and on with her. 3 days. I am going with this. I'm sweating. I'm on the phone. I ain't eating me. I'm just texting her. I'm looking up words and memes and posting stuff. We are going at it. At the end of the day, she don't even live in this country. And it doesn't affect my life. I've wasted time that I could have been working out, taking care of my kids, doing something. And that was a real example. And she just disappeared. And I was like, we didn't fight or nothing. So you are correct. Don't give it no energy. I don't give it any energy.
I've always wondered why people let people you don't like control your
and people
life.
you don't even know.
People you don't know control your life, because the moment that you are Twitter arguing or Facebook arguing or whatever it is, you're giving them a control over a portion of your life. My time is valuable.
Yes.
I charge by the hour. So
Yes.
my time is very valuable.
Yes.
So I don't have the time to go back and forth with you. And so I don't give it any energy, and that's what I would encourage everybody. Just don't feed it. Don't give it any oxygen. If this fire did not have oxygen right now, it would not burn. So,
Good example.
just don't give it to.
So what's coming up for you in 2019? Is there what are you working towards? And I know you said that you have a lot of, you have a lot more goals and a lot more things that you want to do, so let's get into, what are you doing in 2019?
Well, we are, I'm continuing to develop some great shows. I actually have several in the pipeline that are at networks right now. So hopefully we get those deals closed, get a couple more shows sold, which is wonderful. I'm looking again, the Nappy Project. I would love for somebody in Indy to submit there, and so I can help you kind of develop these projects and get your show sold and get them some credits and help with that.
I need
we're
that
doing
bag.
big things on our online show, What America Really Thinks, right now. It is an amazing opportunity, and it's a great show too. So
it is, and let's talk about it, because some people may be asleep and they haven't heard about What America Really Thinks. And so tell us a little bit about that, pitch it to everybody that's looking and listening in, because you know what? A lot of times I've been on some national shows, and I'll sit in the background and be falling asleep and everything. When we're filming that, and if it's not my time to be on the panel, I'm like, oh, they didn't say that. It's so interesting, and it's so real, and it's so many different. It's so versatile. Everybody has their own opinion. The people that you cast for that it's perfect, because everybody's not the same. Everybody don't look the same. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. You got your political person. You got your, whatever. So it's good. So talk about it. How did you create that?
Well, it is what America really thinks, and it is, and I emphasize the really because we are the only show we really tell the truth, and everything you're thinking at home about everything that's happening in the world, from politics to fashion to entertainment, we say it. You're thinking it, but we say it.
Right.
And there are a lot of panel shows out there. You know, you have The View, you have the Talk, these other shows, but these are shows that are hosted by celebrities who have affiliations, who are trying to push a narrative. They're not honest. And so our panelists are unafraid, they're unbiased, and they're unapologetic.
I ain't got nothing to lose.
Nothing. And we're just going to tell the truth. They keep it 100% truthful. They're unfiltered. And I think that's what separates us, and that's what puts us apart. And so if you really want to know how everyday Americans, people that look just like you, people that go to the grocery store with you, you know, if you want to know how they're feeling about the topics that's happening right now, that's what America really thinks does, because we're going to break it down for you, and we don't sugarcoat. We tell you the truth. It's definitely not politically correct.
And the different topics range from what?
From everything, from politics to entertainment to fashion to gossip, as you know.
Yes.
During being our gossip host, we cover it all because it's what America really thinks. And so we try to cover the gambit of America. And as you said, our cast is extremely diverse because it represents all of America. And so we want people who represent every ethnic group, every type of person, because we want to know, how do you guys feel about this subject? How do you think about this? What do you think about President Trump? What do you think about the Oscars? What do you think about, you know, the dress that somebody wore on the red carpet the other day? All these are questions that somebody in America is having, and we answer them, but in the most honest, raw, real way you can.